Hi everybody, I hope that you're all doing really well. So we've had our quarter year crisis, we've done our mid-year book freakout, and now it is finally time to do the end of the year book tag with just a few months left of the year. Can you believe it? It is now time to talk about our reading for the last few months of 2022. Oh god, that's gone quickly. This tag was originally created by Ariel Bissett, and as I say, the prompts discuss different ways that we are looking towards the end of the year, the books that we're looking forward to, the books that we haven't gotten to yet. And yeah, let's just get into the questions, shall we? Question number one is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And oh boy, yes I do. I've been saying recently that I've been in a bad habit over the last few weeks of starting lots of books but not finishing them. And currently, when it comes to books that I've read at least 30 pages of but yet not finished, here is my current pile, minus one book which I'm using to answer another question later. And the thing is that I'm enjoying all of these books. I'm having a good time with them. I don't want to DNF them. I'm just not finishing them, and I don't know why. So those books are as follows. First off, we have The Cookbook of Common Prayer by Francesca Haig. I'm really interested in this one. I'm about 142 pages into this. I think this is most likely going to be the next book that I finish. We have The Women of Troy by Pat Barker, which is the second book in the Silence of the Girls series. I don't know if it's a duology, I don't know if it's going to continue, but I am currently 26 pages into this one. The Time Traveller's Guide to Regency Britain by Mortimer, which is the fourth book in the Time Traveller's Guide series. I am currently 38 pages into this one. We have The Social Life of Books, which I am currently 72 pages into. One of the most recent ones for me is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie. I know lots of people are anticipating this one, and I am currently 24 pages into this. The House with the Golden Door by Elodie Harper, the second book in the Wolf Den trilogy, of which I think this is the one I am furthest on with, at 162 pages. All of these are books that I do want to eventually finish. I just need to be more committed. What a fickle generation I am from. Don't commit to anything. Question number two is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Now, to be honest, I don't have one that is particularly like Halloweeny or spooky. I feel like that's what people tend to mean when they're talking about seasonal reads for this time of year. I think purely because I have a bigger TBR and I feel kind of guilty by picking up books that are not on my TBR. I haven't tended to read very seasonally. It's definitely something that I want to do more of though. But in terms of things that are on my current TBR, which I guess you could argue might be good transition books, would be Glasstown. This is a graphic novel by Isabel Greenberg. This recounts the earlier life of the Brontes and particularly the world that they created as children. And I think this will be like quite a nice autumnal book partially because of the colours. The inside has like beautiful kind of like gothic tones and autumnal colours. And whenever I think of the Brontes, I do think of autumn. And then purely because it's got a skull on the cover and is about death, I've got Death by Shakespeare. Snakebite, Stabbings and Broken Hearts by Catherine Harker, about all of the different ways that Shakespearean characters have been offed. So I hope that counts. Question number three is there a new release that you're still waiting for? Now, I do have an anticipated releases video that I am planning on having coming out in the next couple of weeks, so do keep an eye out for that. However, I'd say out of all of the books that are on that list so far, the one that I'm most excited about is the one that I don't know if it's coming out. It's been on the cards apparently for a while, and I've had the page for it bookmarked for quite a long time, but there still doesn't seem to be any cover art or a title for it, and that is the next book in Stephen Fry's Greek Myths retelling series. And this one is meant to be based on the Odyssey, so as you can imagine, because I really like Odysseus as a character, I was really excited for this. I love the Odyssey, but as of yet, as I say, no cover art, no title, and yet it says that it's coming out on the 27th of October. I can only presume that it is not coming out. Maybe the publishers think they can do a Beyonce and just drop an album with no promotion. Question number four is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? And I wanted to diverge away from these books that I've already mentioned. So the top books that are remaining on my TBR that I would really like to get to. First off, we have the last book in the Six Tudor Queens series, which is Catherine Parr, The Sixth Wife. Since we last spoke, I have blitzed my way through books 3, 4 and 5 in the Six Tudor Queens series, and I just have number 6 left to read. So yeah, I really want to get through this and then hopefully do a video on all 6 books on the full series. And then books 2 and 3 are new releases, books that I've just picked up that I really want to get to soon. First off being Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm a really big fan of her other works and I'm sure that this is going to be just as good. And then finally we have Ithaca by Claire North. Once again, we're on the Odyssey train. This in particular being a retelling of Penelope, Odysseus's wife, and her experiences whilst he was off fighting the Trojan War. And of course the 10 years years where he should have been back and wasn't. Very much looking forward to those books. Question number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite book of the year? I think I've said in the past that I always tend to go into books with like low expectations but high hopes because I've been disappointed before. I think it's just a way of like protecting my brain. I don't want to have high expectations of a book and then be let down. I would rather go into a book with low expectations and then be pleasantly surprised. So I feel like I rarely go into books now thinking this is going to be my new favourite, because inevitably I will be disappointed. However, I think out of the books that I have currently, this is one that I'm partway through and I think stands a good chance of being a new favourite, and that is Joan by Catherine J. Chen, which is a historical fiction retelling the life of Joan of Arc. What I've read of this so far has been really, really brilliant, but as I say, I have only read 14 pages of this, the first chapter of this, so it's all to play for. Who knows if this will be a new favourite, but I am really enjoying it so far. And then finally, question number 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? And to be honest, not really. I've had a couple of things floating in my mind. However, something that I've really learnt this year is that having too much planned reading really has been working against me and working against my enjoyment of reading. Having too many like set books to read, it just doesn't work for me. I do kind of like my reading to be at my own pace, and I think I am very much a mood reader. Aside from a general wish to get my TBR down, which doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, something that I have been thinking about is doing a reread of all of the books that I've ever considered to be my favourites or in my favourites list, because at some point I do really want to do a best books of all time, like my personal best books of all time video, but I feel like because a lot of those books that I'm thinking about I haven't read for years and years and years, is it going to be very accurate? Also today at the time of filming, Katie over at Books and Things talked about her mega Dickens read along, and that had been something that I've been thinking about recently, of reading all of Charles Dickens' works in order, because I've only ever read A Christmas Carol and Great Expectations, and I would like to get more of an idea of his works. And that was actually something that I was starting doing like kind of privately myself, was I'd started reading the Pickwick Papers to start off this journey of reading all of Dickens. However, I did hit a speed bump in that I ended up DNFing the Pickwick Papers about 100 pages in because I just was not getting into it. I wasn't really sure that I was going to get into it, to be fair, but now that she's mentioned doing this read along, I'm like, do I go back to it? Do I? But as I say, I don't want my reading to be too prescriptive this year. It's just something that hasn't been working for me. So there we go. Those are all of my answers to the questions of the end of the year book tag. I really can't believe that we're already in September. That just seems a little mad to me. Do let me know about any books that you're really looking forward to reading in the next coming months, especially when it comes to like more autumnal, seasonal books. As I say, reading very seasonally isn't something that I do much of right now, but I always love seeing other people talking about books that have like a very autumnal atmosphere, or to do with like dark academia, or things that we generally associate with autumn time. I would love to hear from you. I hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks.